What's up? Hey, y'all. All right. Looking good on Facebook. Let me double check something. All right. Hey, happy Friday, everybody. So, wanted to make sure I didn't neglect you today, so I am here. And today we're talking about mothering yourself and healing. And so, I just want to get into it. I'm bringing you everything that I can to help you as you're on this healing journey. So if you are new to my page, welcome. My name is Onjeinikab. I'm also known as the unmothered coach. And I help women who have had difficult relationships with their mothers overcome emotional mother-daughter relationship trauma, improve their self-confidence, and achieve their goals. And so I come on Fridays and I go live, and I'm usually talking about a topic that hopefully can help you. And normally it's something that we've dealt with, or if you're on a healing journey and you're trying to get there, I'm trying to give you just, some tips to move you forward. And so that is what I do on these lives. And so welcome. Oh, also, if you're new here, I'm the author of this book. The book is called Unmothered, A Daughter's Guide to Acceptance, Healing, and Renewal. And I wrote the book for women like myself who had those difficult relationships. You either had a toxic, narcissistic, or maybe even an absent mother, and things just did not develop like they should have when you were growing up. And so now you're stuck with the effects of that. And so in the book, I talk about my story, my mother and me, and I give you 9 steps to healing. And so the steps fall under the category of acceptance, grief, forgiveness, and renewal. And so that's what I talk about here. So anyway, so let's jump into today's topic. So I want to talk about how to effectively mother yourself when you're ready to heal, when you're on the healing journey. And it can be tricky. And so I'll preface it by saying a lot of the time when we think about healing, we go back to the childhood trauma because that's where it started for most of us. And so there's nothing wrong with thinking about healing in that way, with like looking at what happened to you as a child. It's just what we do after that, like how we begin to address the things. And so when we go back into the childhood trauma phase, or we're looking at what happened, we tend to address things from the little girl in us instead of the grown woman. And so that's what I want to talk about today, because there's a big difference in just how you deal with the pain and with, healing going forward. And so, of course, we recognize that there were missteps that happened when we were young. There were things that our mothers didn't do. But when it comes to healing, it benefits us more to look at things from the perspective, from the lens of a grown woman. Because when you let the little girl take over, there are some risks involved with that. And so it doesn't mean that you can't heal your inner child. It just means you have to mother yourself in order to do that. It's just like when you... So for us, those of us that didn't have good mothers, this might not be the best example. But when you see mothers, and even if you're a mother now, your job is to take care of your children, is to guide them, is to be the protector for them. And so that's how you have to act for yourself now. That's how you have to show up for you now. And so that is the difference when it comes to healing, is that you're going to mother yourself from the grown woman and not from filling the voids that you had as a child. And so how do we do this thing? It sounds tricky, because you weren't mothered, but yet you're tasked with fixing yourself. And so how do we do it? So the first thing you need to do is think about what was missing. So identify the areas, the voids that you had with your mother. That's the first thing. And it can be difficult because obviously sometimes we don't want to think about it. And even if we've gone no contact, or like in my case, my mother died from breast cancer. She is not here, but the relationship, wasn't a healed one when she died. And so it can be hard to go back and think about those things again, and to think about painful memories and bring it up. But take your time doing it. You have to do it because it's the only way to acknowledge what really happened and what's really hurting you now. So you have to do that. So the first thing is to identify the missing things. So whether that's, your mother didn't support you when you, you had things going on. Like this week, my kids have been running me and my children are 17, 19, and 20. And so there have been concerts, like my daughter that's in college, and then last night she had an awards ceremony. She got into an honor society at college, and my son has had guitar, and then my other daughter wanted to hang out and have mom and daughter time. So we went to a movie and we did lunch, and so they require stuff, and so that's what support looks like, and like being there for them. If you didn't have that, that should be showing up right now. So you have to identify the things. Was it the quality time? Like I mentioned, me and the 19-year-old, we went to lunch. It was for no reason. It was just to be together. That's what she wanted. I didn't get that with my mother. And so this is a time to journal, to think through what are the things. Was it validation and affirmations from her, that she loves you, she cares about you, like actually saying that. Sometimes you do need to hear it. Yes, it's more about showing, but sometimes it helps to hear it. And if you didn't get that a lot growing up, or you got the opposite of that, it can really affect you as a grown woman. It really can. When you had a mother that was toxic and just spoke to you any kind of way, or called you all kinds of names, or just didn't believe in you, just, crushed every dream that you came up with. So you have to think about these things. Or was it love that was missing? Were there times where you just were convinced this woman does not love me? She couldn't possibly, with the way that she's treating me. So you have to take the time. It will be difficult, but take the time and go through as much as you can to try to identify what are the things you need to work on. All right. What is the healing that has to happen? Where does the mothering have to come in? So you're looking at the things that she didn't do. Or whether it was communication. Maybe she took care of you and did all the things, but just didn't treat you like you were there, like she didn't see you. Couldn't talk to you, couldn't take time to listen to you. So think about those things. And so when you do that, the next step is going to be to address it like a woman. So if you want to fix those things and fill those voids in yourself now, because believe me, they do show up in all kinds of ways. You might not recognize where it's coming from, but they show up. And if you're on here, then you're probably starting to realize that, or you've known it. And so you have to begin now to address those things as a grown woman. What do I mean? What I mean is when you go to fill those voids, that's where you're vulnerable. So if you go out there looking for someone to affirm and validate you, looking for love, looking for support, that is where the problems can come. And that's when you go out looking for those relationships, situationships can develop, and all kinds of off things that you didn't mean to happen because you're looking to fill the void. It's a difference in finding a good relationship, a friendship, or it could be romantic or whatever, that you find out, okay, this is the support that I was missing. This is the quality time that I needed. It's one thing when you initiate or get into a relationship with someone and it blossoms and grows into something that you need. But it's a totally different thing when you go looking for something. When you know that you're missing something and you're trying to fill that, that's when you open yourself up to the wrong kinds of relationships and interactions. And that is why it is key to address the voids, the healing, the mothering that you need from the grown woman perspective. It's not to be harsh to the little girl in you that didn't get your needs met. It's not to be mean and to say, oh well. It is to say, but I'm grown now and I have a better way of taking care of you. I know you didn't get what you needed and what you wanted from mama. I know that she wasn't there. I know she didn't do the things that were necessary. She didn't help you grow. But I'm here now, and I've always been here. And so I am going to take care of you. And it's just the grown version of yourself is all it is. It's the grown up version with all the pain and the trauma, but also the lessons, the triumphs, the future that's coming. So it's you mothering yourself from that perspective of care and of intention and of caution in some ways, and just in an optimistic way that you know that you got this and you can heal. All right. So first is identify it. Second is to address it from a grown woman perspective so that you don't put yourself out there and open yourself up for attacks and to be taken advantage of and to be hurt further. All right. And then the third thing you have to do is work on you. You got to work on you first. Before you really want to work on you, before you hop into any relationships or try doing too much. And even like with parenting, there's some things like as a parent, because we didn't get certain things, because we didn't always have the model that we needed, because our mamas were tripping and they were toxic and acting crazy all the time, we have to read books sometimes. We have to, do a little research. We have to lean on other women or other mothers. We have to work on ourselves because some of the things we just don't know. We don't have it. And so in order to get better, you have to go inward. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, if you would develop skills, like if you wanted a job or if you wanted to be able to, I don't know, even like to do an activity. Say you wanted to be a rock climber and you had to learn like what the things were that you needed to do, because it's more than just buying the gear so you can climb the rocks. And with getting the job, it's more than just getting there. You want to be good at it. And so you want to work on those things that would build you up or make you a better candidate or make you a better rock climber, whatever it is. And it's the same thing with growing and healing. When you recognize areas in yourself that need addressing, then it's okay to do that. In fact, it's good to do that. It is great to get to know who you are, because for so long you've been overlooked, you've been talked down to, you've been told you weren't worth anything, or you've been made to feel like that, or like you weren't going to be anything. So this is the perfect opportunity to focus on yourself and pour into yourself. And I talked about focusing on yourself last week. If you need to go back and see that live, it is on my page here. You can go see it. But you need to go inward so that you can address what it takes for you to identify what you need when it comes to other relationships and other people. And that's parenting, that's romantic, and otherwise partners, that's friendships. So all the relationships, that's in the workplace. You have to figure out who you are. And so when you figure that out, it's better for you to decide how you're going to interact with people, what you can give them, what you want from them, So it's key to work on you. And then the last thing is to act grown. So if you're going to mother yourself and heal, you got to act grown. You can't just say you're grown. And basically, I'm just saying be mature. And I know it's easier said than done. But we have to really look at acceptance and say, all right, we didn't have a great mama. And I don't care what anybody has to say about it, about me talking about mothers, because I don't come on here to bash them. But I'm a call a spade a spade. And so what I'm saying is it takes more than just having a baby to be a mama. You can't just be like, well, she had you. And people say that to us all the time. Well, that's your mother and you only have one mother. Yeah, but it takes more than just having a baby to say that you're a mother. And so we have to be able to say, okay, we didn't have the good mama. We didn't get that. Because every person that is tasked with doing something, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a police officer, whether it's a pastor, whoever it is, everybody is not created equal. And so some people are going to be better at it than others. And the same goes for mothers. And so I wish people would just stop acting like that. I'm not saying that they deserve disrespect, but what I'm saying is you don't have to lie. If she wasn't good, she wasn't good. They're not all good. So be mature about that thing and own it. You don't have to keep saying it, but you have to know that that's the case. And so because that's the case, you can't stay in an imaginary world hoping that she's going to change, hoping that she's going to listen to you. She's going to finally see the light. Or even if she's passed away, like in my case, pretending that she had done all these things and that everything was fine and that I was okay and I was just missing her. And it wasn't that I was missing the fact that she didn't mother me. Just be real. Be mature about it. Because when you do that, it will help you in healing. And so it will help you because we know that we have an opportunity to make it different. Yes, it was how it was. It was messed up. It was jacked up having a mama that didn't do right by you. But now you know you have the opportunity to make it different. So act grown. And in doing that, you will find that the healing is all about how you attack it, how you address it going forward. It's not about pacifying and going back in the past and cradling that inner child, because we literally cannot do that. It sounds wonderful when people say it, how you want to go back and, take care of the little girl, but you really have to be who you are right now. And so it's not saying not to look at what happened when you were a child. It just is saying be grown. It's saying have healthy ways of healing. Identify healthy ways to do it. So instead of just letting the pain take over and get you the things that you were missing, identify those healthy ways and move forward in that. And then you're going to find, when you do that, when you act grown, what you're going to find is some of the healing will come from the work that you're doing, the intentional work where you are going deep into yourself, when you're getting the support that you need, whether that be therapy or coaching or community or however friends, whatever it takes. But in you being intentional, you're going to receive a lot of the healing. You're going to be doing the work, and it is going to pay off. But another part of it, what else is going to happen, is that you're going to also open yourself up for people to pour into you. And so sometimes you do get that feeling of it could be another person in your family that really gets it and they understand you, or it can be a friend. It's like I shared the story that when my aunt came down 2 years ago for my oldest daughter's graduation, she was proud, and she's always been a proud auntie and very sweet. She was proud of my daughter, but she also told me, she pulled me to the side, hugged me so tight, and told me how proud of me she was. And that struck a nerve with me, because it wasn't something that I was used to hearing, and it wasn't a feeling that I was used to getting. But I was healing to the point where I could receive that, where it didn't upset me that my mama should have said that. Why didn't she ever do that? No, I received it from my aunt, and it was the most beautiful thing. It felt so good, and it was unexpected. And so what I'm saying is, as you address things as a grown woman, yes, your work is going to pay off, but you're also going to be open to gifts that come, and they're going to be healing gifts. And so that is what I have for you today. I'm going to run back the steps real quick before I get out of here. But we're talking about mothering yourself and healing. And a lot of times we address it from the childhood perspective of what was the trauma and what does this little girl need. And what I want you to start to do is shift the focus to, how can I as a grown woman mother myself and heal myself? What is it going to take? And so when you do that, the first thing to do is to identify the areas that were missing when you were growing up. Identify the voids. And then the second thing to do is ask, how would a grown woman address it? So what I want you to do is not to go looking to fill the voids, because that's when you're vulnerable. Make sure that you find what you need by creating good relationships, good connections that will lead to what you were missing. Okay? Because so then you're in a different place. You have the power then. You have the power to protect yourself. And then the next thing is to work on you. That means to go deep inside, and if there's communication, if there's, a lack of love for yourself, if there is self-esteem issues, work on you first so that you can identify and attract the right people for yourself. And then the last thing is to act like you're grown, and that means to accept who your mother is or who she was. Understand we don't all get what we want, even when it comes to people in our lives. But the future is there for you, and all you have to do is be intentional about it. Remember that the healing is about how you find healthy ways to address what's missing. It's not just about feeling it. So when you come at it from a grown woman perspective, remember that it is about finding healthy ways to heal. And when you do the intentional work for yourself, it will pay off. But you will also open yourself up to gifts that will also heal you. And so that's what I have for you today. I hope that this is helpful to you. And if there's other topics that you want me to talk about, you can certainly DM me and let me know. I love getting on here and sharing with you guys. And I love your feedback and just want to be helpful to you. One-to-one coaching is open right now. So if you are someone that's in need of hand holding, and there's nothing wrong with that, that's what I'm here for. And so, you can go to the link in my bio. You can also DM me if you have questions. But if you're ready to get on the healing journey, I'm here for you. And one-to-one coaching is going to be for 4 weeks right now. But I have an optional 6-week program as well. So just DM me with your concerns or if you're interested in working together. And I will be happy to get back to you. All right, y'all. So it is a beautiful Friday. I hope that you're ready for the weekend. If you need rest, get rest. If you're here to have some fun, have the fun. Whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it. And I will see you next week. Bye.